Look at this ancient fortress. So similar to Machu Picchu, but not one tourist. So where are they? But what if I told you that I'm in the world's largest landlocked exclave, completely cut off from its capital by its arch enemy over there? Let me show you. These mountains over here, they're all the Caucasus. I'm currently in Azerbaijan, Nakhchivan. Over there is Iran. Over there, about an hour's drive, is Armenia. Behind it, however, is Azerbaijan again. Let me show you on a map. Here, this whole colorful bit is Azerbaijan proper. This is Nakhchivan, where we currently are. And these borders here are sealed shut by Armenia and Azerbaijan. Nobody passes. I always wondered, how can these people survive? How can they do anything? So I spent the past 24 hours traveling here to show you. Nakhchivan has very few international flights, so I flew from the capital of Baku. But to my surprise, I was the only foreigner on the plane. In the next few days, I will talk to the locals, see what they're like. But first, I have to walk 1,500 of these steps down to get back to the road. Before I go down completely though, I wanted to mention that this place has been built in the year 100 and has been ruled over by kings, by emperors, by tsars, by shahs, and eventually by khans as well. Even the Mongols. Can you believe it? In the year 1400 or so, as I read earlier, Timur tried to conquer this place and he laid siege to it. But it's so far up that for 8 years, he couldn't conquer it. And you need to imagine, like, you're a soldier, you start like your day off, you know, like an enemy army is coming in, and you go up to your castle and you protect it. And for 8 years, you're not leaving this place, but in the valley below, you see all these armies marching. It is November and I am sweating. Yeah, imagine getting up. Well, getting down is hard as well, all the way from there. Although, if I look there, some animals don't have a problem with that. And while I'm at it, over there, see that mountain? That is where, well, everybody knows the guy. That's where Noah, his boat, crashed. And that little U in the top, that's where the boat sunk in after a while. And this is the land where he's supposedly buried. But I still have a long way to go down and back to the city. Okay, this makes me a bit nervous. Tomorrow I'm supposed to go to a really small town. See, no, like doesn't look like it. Oh god. My thumbs up doesn't work here. So this is gonna be a long walk. Oh my god, oh my god. Salam.
Hello.
Nekhasan?
Oraya gitsen.
Yok Azeri.
Nereden sen?
Nakhchivan.
Nakhchivan.
Tu?
Ben de Nakhchivan'daydım.
Okay. Yoksi.
Aşağıda ben Göydere'deyim. Yok.
While Hassan here is driving here, on my left. Those pipelines to the left or the right are actually gas lines which run between the villages, and it's cheaper to put them above ground than below ground. So it's a long drive so far. Okay. Tamam. Not a clue, but Hassan had a phone call and he is gonna talk with some people. Fun facts about Hassan: 3 kids, they're all older, the Russians were bad, they used to be on the border, he doesn't speak any Russian anymore, so sadly I cannot communicate a lot with him. And he has like an old Soviet truck over here, so it's all very nice. And he's taking me very far so far, so I'm really in luck. I don't really know what's happening here. They're burning something. I might ask Hassan.
Bura pislik ya, bir yandırırlar bunu.
Tamam. Nakhchivan.
Nakhchivan.
Nakhchivan. Yeah. He is going to drop me off at the bus station, and then I'm almost close to home. But later I'll translate whatever it was that this is burning over here. Feels quite apocalyptic, especially with the old Soviet Ladas.
Hadi gözle mi diyeceksin? Gözle mi diyeceksin? Git.
Yeah?
Git. Bakın şuraya.
Salam. Okay, and from the one to the other. I was just dropped off by Hassan's marshrutka friend, and it was quite warm in the bus, so I took my shirt off. But it's quite cold outside again, so it's like November, and it gets agonizingly cold during winter here, and it gets blistering heat during summer. Good morning. Yesterday night I had a look up as to what Hassan said, and it was that they were burning garbage. Today I'm gonna go to Ordubad and try to film a bit around, like going a bit close to the border, which is problematic, but we'll see if we're able to or not. Look at these men that died. They died in 2020, the war with Armenia, and briefly, like last year, there was another war. And it's quite weird because in the 1900s and just before the Soviet Union and before that Russia conquered these lands and made them all one people. And as Lenin said, the great Soviet family where boundaries have no meaning. But once the Soviet Union dissolved, these boundaries got some real meaning and people started dying. А вот это там, это тоже Иран или нет? Это тоже Иран или нет? А, это Армения? So I was just dropped off by my marshrutka there in the distance. And I just arrived in Ordubad, about an hour's drive from the capital of this region, Nakhchivan. And I'm now extremely close to the Iranian border, which is right there, those first mountains. It's a bit foggy, but it's still there. It should clear up later. And behind me, over there, like in the far distance, is Armenia, which is completely closed off. You cannot pass it. I also heard that the Iranians cannot pass at the moment because there's some tension. So we'll see about that later. Like really, I want to get close up as possible. And here is an old chai house because, well, this town used to be part of the Silk Road, is still part of the Silk Road, I guess, the new one that the Chinese are building. But hundreds of years ago, they came here on their camels, on their horses, driving all the way from China up until like the Mediterranean. And now basically what they do is, and I'm gonna do that as well, is what those guys are doing, drinking some chai.
Мясо есть, есть с картошкой. Если хочешь, от этого.
I just met a guy called Nazim. He just left. He wanted to show me around like his local village, which is not this one, like another one. So he's gonna pick me up in a little bit and he's gonna show me, and it's right on the border, so it's exactly what we were hoping for. In the meantime, I got chai, which is in a local chai house, not so weird. Vareniki, I don't know exactly what this is. And a sort of crusty pancake with meat inside. Quite tasty so far. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen in the next hour or so.
А вы только говорите по-русски и по-азерски, no? Или тоже английский?
Кто?
Ні.
Я по-нашему, по-азербайджанскому разговариваю.
Да. И ничего из фарси.
Фарсы это иранцы, что ли? Не, не понимаем это. А там 40 миллионов азербайджанцев живет.
40?
40. А слушай меня, вот, я тебе скажу. В 1828 году персский перс и русский империя, да, по-русски, царь. Они воевали, они встали, не может друг друга победить. Он не может, и это русский не может. Они что делали? Один речка идет, Арас. Они договорились в 1828 году, Туркменстан договор. Сделала. Азербайджан был большой страной. И разделили. 40 миллионов остался этого Персии.
Армия как-то.
3 или это время мы было 4 миллиона.
Да, армия не было.
Армия, да,
Армия в Азербайджане не было.
не было, нет.
Азербайджан.
Они знаешь, кто создал? Русские. Они что сделали? Соединились русские и персы. Начали потихоньку вулитиры. Армяне все типа как цыгане, беженцы. Они из Турции и Ирана.
So I just finished lunch with my two friends here in Ordubad. The two guys were working in Russia for many years, so they spoke better Russian than I did. And basically what they were telling me was about how during the times of before the Soviet Union, the Iranian Empire, or like the Persian Empire in that case, and the Russian Empire, the Russian Tsarist Empire, they broke up the Azeri people so that 40 million, I need to check if that's right, but 40 million Azeris live on the side of the Iranians, and only 4 million were living over here. And after that time, the Russians divided the territories here in the southern Caucasus and started placing the Armenians in between them, like a beton block, like a concrete slab in between the two areas of Azerbaijan. Can't say that's exactly true, because like the Armenians have been here for a long time already. I just wanted to mention this guy, Aliyev. He's the former president, and his son is currently the president. Basically a family-run organization. But on the right, you see the flag of Azerbaijan. Well, it's not waving really, but it's basically blue, red, green, the crescent, and the 8-pointed star, where the blue stands for the Turkic people, the red stands for the color of progress, green for Islam, together with the crescent, and the 8-pointed star for the 8 peoples of the 8 Turkic peoples. Or, because it's not a solid fact apparently, it stands for the 8 letters of writing Azerbaijan in the Arabian tongue or language, but apparently they don't know. Quite a beautiful background though. So after that last video about the flag and the president and a little joke about the family run organization that is, a police officer came out and he stopped me because I was next to the executive branch and his higher ups need to know what a foreigner is doing in their city. And yeah, that was a bit sketchy for me, a bit risky. So I would appreciate it if you give me a follow. But now it's waiting for my friend Nazim and going to his village, which he desperately wants to show me. I don't know why or what, but Хорошая машина у вас.
Да, хороший. Старый не машин, как я.
Как ты?
Да.
Пойдем. I was brought to a war memorial by the friendly man. I was forbidden to film, as it was a few hundred meters from the border. The locals, however, recorded me and shared this photo. So I'm officially paranoid. I just came back from Nazim's village. I'm still not far away. I'm like in a different village. He took me to his village to show me a memorial site that he built with the village money against the war of you-know-who. I'm not going to say that every single time because that brings me in trouble here. But when I entered the village, police officers came in, but not the normal police officers, you know, like the ones in the black suits, stern faces, suit and tie, and they asked me what's my opinion about that other country, show me your videos, who are you, where are you staying, all these kind of things. I wasn't allowed to take any videos, and they said like, don't do this, don't do that, and at some point they even let me say a video, kind of under pressure, but about how to visit that village, which is obviously not easy, and especially that map that I have with me. I wanted to show and explain what's happening in this region over here next to the train tracks right behind me, but there's another government building next to it, so I'm not gonna dare it. But yeah, on the map I'm gonna explain it to you in a second, but I need to get rid of it. And I'm also gonna upload all my videos of the stupid comments that I made to the internet in a second before, hopefully before anyone comes. I don't think so, but I need to be prepared for it. So see you in a second. I wanted to upload a video of me explaining something, but I got interrupted. So a man told me I can enter one of the biggest mosques here in the Caucasus, so let's see what it's like. A man told me I should go in here. Well, I just wanted to say something, but if people speak English, I get interrupted, and it's really beautiful in here. It's so big. Oh. Wow. I don't know where everybody is though. After a day filled with nationalistic tendencies again, I quickly want to get rid of the map, so let me explain that. But first, there's no mausoleum. So what we're talking about is Azerbaijan proper, Armenia, over here. And Nakhchivan, the province where we are right now, with Ordubad where we were today. What's happening is, Azerbaijan currently wants to connect its exclave together to its mainland by this rail line over here to Ordubad. This is called the Zangezur corridor, or in Armenian, the Syunik corridor. Now the thing is, Azerbaijan really pushes for it. Armenia really doesn't want it because it will block their sovereignty, but they promised it in an earlier treaty in a war that they lost in 2020. The Turkish are helping, the Azerbaijanis are pushing for it. The Iranians are somewhat against it because then the rail line could go through their land and connect it, and they could help the Armenians. The thing is as well, Azerbaijan is a strategic partner of Israel, which is an enemy of Iran. While Russia wants to be involved and wants to have the corridor, but on their own terms, because then they would have boots on the ground, they would have a military here. To add as well, the Russians and Iranians fear a NATO encroachment because Turkey is in NATO and is super close to Azerbaijan, and this would bring it closer to the northern border of Iran or the southern border of Russia. So, what do you think is the best solution for the people and for the states in this region without resolving to conflict? Because it is quite likely to happen. Good morning. Yesterday I was brought to the border village with the war memorial, and I was forbidden to record. The people were very lovely, they are very patriotic though, but they asked me to record something in English and to say something, so I would like to mention that the words I said basically were theirs. They're not bad, but like, they're theirs. Especially the part about the president and the iron fist that he has. But yeah, they lost their loved ones, so it's understandable. See that sign? The one with the diesel and the oil prices, the petrol prices. They barely ever have to change it. It's a state monopoly. So coming up, everything will be about the oil boom and their, believe it or not, their climate protection. So, click here if you want to see that. See you next time.